We love talking football. It's our crack, isn't it, Scott? Have you been having a good kickoff to football week?
Uh, it has not slowed down at all, and I feel like as we're recording this, some breaking news is going to drop, and it's going to send us to a tailspin, and I will enjoy it.
I'm gonna have my Ian Rappaport moment where I'm just like sitting here on my iPad, just going,
Zoo with just Zoo with two phones. You said your Ian Rappaport moment, so I thought you meant like getting into a fight with another reporter in the middle of a
"No, there
Starbucks.
was a no, not yet."
Not yet.
Scott tries to tickle me at the bar again. That might be a different story, but
Hey, it's not try, Will.
Well, look, we could have that moment, and it's a great segue.
we had it already.
You could witness it yourselves now, people, because April 4th in Washington, D.C., we will be back at AwesomeCon. Look at that right there. April 4th, we will be back at AwesomeCon, the Walter E. Washington Convention Center, of course. We are going to be there doing the 323's Geeky Family Feud, 4:45 p.m. that Friday, where they gave us 90 minutes because they know they can't contain us anymore. They tried that last year. Honey. Not here. They are going to give us extra time. We are going to have a lot of fun. We've got me, Scott, Zoo, Angela's back, Griffin's back, Sarah's back, and of course, Mr. B, Travis Byram, is joining the crew this time to be on there. It's going to be a full-blown time. I think we're all going to have a great time. Are you guys excited to see the cherry blossoms? We can take a nice stroll together across the cherry blossoms.
Can we hold hands?
We should hold hands.
Can we do a lime bike race or something?
Ooh,
That would be amazing with how crowded it is over there. Like us just trying to all hold hands together.
Just send Scott
Red Rover people.
Send Scott with just some
Red
family.
Rover. Hey, you bitch with the red shirt, come on over.
We accidentally create the world record Red Rover game right there.
I think it would be a wonderful time. You can only find out one way, folks. Come to AwesomeCon and check us out. And plenty of other cool stuff. Corey Feldman will be there. I'd love to get him on the show. I don't know what we would talk about. I don't know if he would enjoy it.
His whirlwind music career. That's what I would want to talk to him about.
It's been a hell of a time. Maybe it could be our first 323 live performance. Comes from Corey Feldman. That would be cool. Hey, a lot of cool stuff has been happening this week. It is NFL calendar kickoff week because everything in football is an event now. You can't let basketball, you can't let baseball, you can't let hockey. None of y'all, you can't have shit. We are going to talk transactions and we're going to do primetime specials about transactions in the NFL. And look, man, there's been so much going on that to possibly keep up with it, you either go to @323Reid, @323REID, and follow the primetime report with Zuhair Ali, or you go full sports media cliche, which we've always tried to avoid doing, but damn it, we have to do it. We have to go full debate show mode. Maybe. This is where we zig where, others zag. We're going to play a little game called Debatable, a brand new segment to drop here right in the middle of NFL free agency. And I'm going to read out a statement just about these offseason moves that have already begun. And, Zoo and Scott, they will tell me if that statement's debatable or not. And they're going to explain to you why. They're going to tell you why your team sucks or is great. Who knows? First one up, though, Zoo. Man, the Seattle Seahawks. They have kicked off the week with a fire sale, trading stars like quarterback Geno Smith to the Raiders, DK Metcalf, the bulk-ass receiver, to the Steelers, along with several big releases like Tyler Lockett, a longtime wide receiver, George Fant, their offensive tackle, Rayshon Jenkins, his safety, plenty more. But then you're doing all this fire sale stuff, and you make a big splash, signing quarterback Sam Darnold. They get Darnold in Seattle. They signed DeMarcus Lawrence from the Cowboys, their defensive end, and they got wide receiver Marquez Valdez-Scantling. So, Zoo, is it debatable that the new-look Seahawks are going to actually be better than their 10-7 2024 squad?
I don't know. This is the second year with head coach Mike McDonald, and they're making these moves, but it just makes you wonder, like, what is Niners? But it seems like optimistic with the Seahawks, but depressing for the 49ers. Whereas for the Seahawks, it's like, I don't understand where you're going with this, but given that we didn't know where you were going with this last year and you still were as competitive as you were, there could be an avenue to actually be successful in this division with the Niners falling off. The Cardinals haven't really done anything exciting. And then you just have to compete with the Rams if they can stay healthy and sustain another good season. So you have a new offensive coordinator. I'm sure there's something that he sees that they're trying to put together right now, but it's just going to be intrigue with the Seahawks until the season finally starts and we see like what they're actually trying to go for, what their new identity they're trying to develop.
Scott, do you debate that with him?
No, because I just like Zeus said, like there's a bunch of question marks for me with that team, right? Like they let go damn near their whole core. I have zero faith in JSN being a true number one there in Seattle. And I think that's why they brought in MVS to be there. But even MVS gives me like a great value DK Metcalf vibe. Like he just seems like a watered down
So
DK. It's just, I guess you just have to wait and see. But, you always talk about like how sometimes teams have to hit that massive reset button. And boy, did they hit that button, because next year should be interesting. But I mean, you look at the NFC West too, like the Niners are in the same situation. Like they're letting go of players left and right and trading them away and things like that. So even with all these changes, the NFC West is still kind of up for grabs. So it might not be a bad thing.
I was going to say, this is where the Arizona Cardinals accidentally wind up, atop the division somehow or something next season, or how, the Rams can continue to kind of stroll with things. I have probably more questions than answers with the Seahawks. To say that they're going to be better than the 10-7 squad, I did like what Mike McDonald brought to the team last year. It was a team that needed to be refreshed to get away from the Pete Carroll, regime completely. I just find it curious. Obviously, they're going to need a quarterback, and I don't think they were going to be in a position draft-wise to get Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward, one of those top two there. And Sam Darnold can hold down the fort for a little while. I just find it a little funny where the Seahawks, their pass blocking was some of the worst in the NFL last season. And Geno Smith is a quarterback, despite whatever limitations he has arm-wise, athletically, he was very, very good under pressure, very, very good escaping the blitz and escaping these different pass rushers. And I like Sam Darnold. I've always thought he's had a little Tony Romo-esque quality to him in terms of, going up against pressure. But I'm curious to see if Darnold is going to fully step up. If last year was not just a blip in his career with the Vikings and he's just actually, things are clicking finally. And he can perform under what's going to be a high-pressure season. You're not going to have DK Metcalf. You're trying to see if JSN, if Njigba can be that number one guy. I actually debate with you a little bit on that. I like Njigba a lot, and I think this is a great test for him to step up. But, you got to give him a quarterback to do it, and Darnold's going to be arguably he was the best shot in this free agency class to do that. So it's going to be curious. It's going to be very curious. Getting DeMarcus Lawrence, that's an interesting one. Guess you got to keep that.
Did you see DeMarcus Lawrence's comments when he was when they talked to him?
What did he say? Oh shit, I went there.
He was like, Dallas is always going to be home, but the Cowboys aren't winning a Super Bowl anytime soon.
You ain't wrong. Might as well roll the dice somewhere else. Well, that's a good start, but Scott, I'm going to give you one here. And this is a thing with us. This is why we don't do debate culture shows, because we're all so locked in together that we're usually on par. But this statement, Scott, I think you might say debatable, but you might surprise me. The Indianapolis Colts, they made some great signings to bolster their defense, right? They got cornerback Charvarius Ward. They got safety Cameron Bynum. But they also signed quarterback Daniel Jones to a 1-year, $14 million deal. I was very curious to see where Daniel Jones is going to go. Winds up going to the Colts to compete for the job with Anthony Richardson. Scott, is it debatable or not when I say that this signing of Daniel Jones will not only motivate quarterback Anthony Richardson to win the starting quarterback job outright, but it's going to make him a top 10 quarterback in 2025?
There's no signing on this planet Earth that would give Anthony Richardson enough fire under his ass to try to compete to be a number one starting quarterback in the NFL. He is trash. And I've said this since he was in college. He got drafted way, way too high at Indianapolis to go there. And what have we seen since he's joined? Absolute mediocrity. He doesn't know how to read a defense. All he does is chuck the ball up down the field, or he takes off with his legs, and it just gets him hurt at the end of the day. I mean, his stats alone are absolutely horrendous. If you look at last season, 11 games played, 1,800 yards passing, eight touchdowns, and 12 picks. And you're going to be seeing that again this year. He is not going to see the field until garbage time or later on in the season after Daniel Jones leads. And that's right. He actually leads on something that Anthony Richardson doesn't know how to do, leads the Indianapolis Colts to a wild card berth into the playoffs next year.
Whoa. That's a big claim. That's a big claim. Don't forget, folks, outside of the Pat McAfee show, we don't have a bigger Indianapolis Colts stand here in sports media than Scott Ellia.
Cemented in right now, planting my flag, February 15th. Wow. The Minnesota Vikings are going to be defeating the Indianapolis Colts in Las Vegas for the Super Bowl.
Hey. And now they're not going to the Super Bowl, but they'll get a wild card berth, but it will not be because of Anthony Richardson's trash ass play on the field. If anything, he's going to get hurt again. He's not going to play again next year. It's fucking bum.
Zoo, how do you feel about Daniel Jones going to the Colts? How do you feel about that division entirely?
The division entirely. I just don't know what to expect of the Jaguars at all. Like them having
Duval.
And having that reset did nothing for me. It's just like, prove it. Is Trevor Lawrence actually your guy? Can you actually put a team together? Can you actually be consistently competitive and not just, run off of flukes?
Duval.
So creepy. Texans, we'll see. They got rid of their O-line. That's great, but what are you swapping it out with? Like, are you trying to protect CJ Stroud or not? So that'll be a big question for next year. Who else is there? That shows how pathetic this division is.
The Titans, the most pathetic, yeah.
Most forgettable.
Yeah, that's going to be potentially rookie quarterback. I get that there's a great edge rusher over there, but why would you? Are you that confident in Will Levis?
But you gotta I really low key hope they take Abdul Carter, because I don't have any beef with Cam Ward. I think he seems like a pretty good dude. It feels like it would be setting
not enough if you want to go to the Browns.
Feels like it would set him up for massive failure to go to the Titans right now.
I don't know. So those other three teams are intrigue. Daniel Jones, we'll just kind of see how bad of an organization the Giants actually are and see if he does have the capability of actually leading a team, or if he's just going to be another Joe Flacco right now, just much younger. If Daniel Jones gets the starting job, Richardson has to do really, really bad. Really bad.
Good thing he is.
And then it's do you trade Richardson in the during the regular season?
What are you going to trade him for? Fucking a half-eaten bag of Lay's potato chips?
Pack of Wonder pistachios?
Yeah.
Don't shit on Wonder's name.
I mean, whoever got the bag is the one that's winning.
Ooh.
Did you all know that Calvin Ridley's 30? I just found that out. He's 30 years old.
I can't process people's ages in the NFL.
See, that blows my mind, because Because Sam Darnold's 27, and
Oh
I would
my
have
God.
sworn that Sam Darnold, because he's been in the league for what, fucking decade?
Yeah.
He would have been in his 30s. But no, he's only 27.
Could have sworn. I guess it was that memorial betting slip year that really took some time off of Calvin Ridley.
Hey man, black don't crack.
That's right. Only in his agility.
Long story short, Daniel Jones is leading that team. I'm not sure how long Richardson is going to stay on it.
Fair enough.
Might be like the next Trey Lance.
I was just about to say Trey Lance.
He's had a better career than Trey Lance. I think we can agree on that.
I've had a better career.
I think Trey Lance and Anthony Richardson should start for the Cowboys.
They need to go play for the Battle Hawks or some shit. Go play for the UFL.
No, I still want them. I want them both to be in Dallas fighting for a starting spot.
I still argue for a lot of these players. I know you can get NFL money and, you're on an NFL team, but if you're like Trey Lance or Trey Lance or Gardner Minshew or something, why not go to the UFL? And just like, if you want a year of superstardom, just go there and just destroy all those dudes who are never going to make the NFL. You can easily get back in. You'd be the face. You'd be the face of a league. You could maybe even try to get some revenue or something.
I mean, RG3 and Cam Newton had a conversation about that, and it's like they've basically made so much money in the NFL, they're not getting paid enough for like the football routine to go down to UFL. I've always kind of had the same mentality. It's like, if you just love football and want to play, but it's like, no, just comes down to money, which is kind of sad.
I will make Trey Lance a star if you make me the CEO of the UFL. I got you. Zoo, we're going to go back to you here. And a quarterback who is not, I will say, is better than UFL level, right? Justin Fields. The New York Jets, they signed quarterback Justin Fields to a 2-year, $40 million deal. Armed with Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, a hellacious defense, and a new coach in Aaron Glenn. Zoo, Justin Fields is finally going to have his superstar year and become the franchise quarterback the Jets have been seeking. Is that debatable or not?
I mean, the fact that that's a false statement isn't debatable. I think he's going to have some flashy plays with Garrett Wilson. I think that it's just going to be a repeat where it's like they have a solid defense and the offense just won't be able to get any chemistry together.
All I can say is good thing they got Tyrod there.
Do they still have Tyrod? Is he still there?
Mm-hmm. I think he's still listed on the depth chart.
What was all the drama with Jordan Travis? I was seeing a lot of
how they tried rushing him back too soon.
Yeah,
they were trying to expedite his rehab for his leg, and I guess something got aggravated and it set him back even further. So yeah, it's still up in the air when he's even going to be able to suit up.
Good.
That's why you never saw him last year.
Kind of the end.
Oh my goodness. Who'd the Commanders say?
Jacob Martin.
Oh, I've heard of Jacob Martin at some point. I think he might have been a UFL player. He might have been a DC Defenders guy. Look,
he's a command for $3 million while Olamide Zaccheaus is going to the Bears.
Oh.
I will say, looking at the depth chart for the Jets and knowing that division that they're in, and I would love to see what their schedule is going to be like for next year, just to kind of get a better grasp on everything. But I feel like they'll do better than 5-12.
I think
they might be a 7-8, 6-9, like somewhere in their range. But like a couple games more, but I don't see them like beating the bricks off people. But I mean, you look at everything; it's all just young talent that you're just waiting to hit at this point.
They play the AFC North, but they play the NFC South.
For the Jets?
Yeah.
Well, I already killed
their
my
extra games are Broncos, Jaguars, and Cowboys.
I already killed my own theory in that, first season with a new coach, the Jets always do well. And when I saw that Robert Saleh, his first season, they went 4-13 and missed the playoffs, and then went consecutive 7-10s. So
my question I'm posing to you, fine gentlemen, is: are the Jets going to do well enough to gain the trust and the love of one Luis Martinez to come back and rep the Jets again?
I think
so.
I think so, and I'll go fully deep onto the NBA. I think the Knicks are going to disappoint him. I think they're gonna lose early in the playoffs, in the NBA playoffs, and he's gonna have to look for some type of yield of hope, and that will be Justin Field and the Jets and whatever player they drafted during the with the 8th pick.
So I'm confused. You do think that Fields is going to be their franchise?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
No. Google,
I just think
Google,
they're gonna.
yeah.
I think performance-wise, they'll do a lot. They'll do slightly better than last year. I think last year a lot of the team probably just just rolled over and just gave up halfway through the season.
But
But
a draw against the Colts.
right, wait, what did they sign for again? What was it? 2 years?
Yeah,
2 years, 40?
40, yeah.
Yeah, whatever. Wait for Archman to come out in 2 years and go draft him.
Yeah.
I thought that was the Giants' plan.
Well, someone's got to.
Tommy DeVito is their only quarterback under contract right now.
Hey, Mason Rudolph to the Steelers.
What, you saying you don't have faith in the Italian Stallion?
I mean, they beat the Commanders like 30-some points in his first game, so I really can't talk, but
They can
So
make
funny.
They can make Tommy DeVito second on the depth chart of the practice squad, and I guarantee he's going to start a game next year.
oh shit, Drew Lock's still a free agent. Right?
Bring him
He's
back.
probably
Why
going to
not?
continue being a free agent.
I like Drew Lock. Look, with these statements, look,
There's a UFL quarterback.
for Justin Fields, he would be a great UFL quarterback. For Justin Fields, I kind of agree with Scott. I think he's going to have a good year. You're going to see all the same flashes. I think we know exactly who Justin Fields is. There are like some huge Justin Fields stands around. He's a crazy athletic quarterback who has a very limited kind of quarterback accuracy range. Like he just makes really crazy decisions. He's going to have like some damn near 400-yard game and look like the savior for a little bit, but he's also going to just make some boneheaded decisions and interceptions at some point. And I think the Jets will be better than they were last year, just because I feel like they have to. Scott was right. Everything was just so deflating right at the start that, yeah, you're going to roll over and just hope for the season to end. So
that was the point, was that with all the dead cap, they still can't upgrade their O-line, so they needed a quarterback that actually can run for their lives.
Yes, that's it. Yeah, no, I don't believe in my statement, in my opening statement. This is showbiz, baby. But this next statement, the final statement for you here, Scott, I might believe this one. All right, I think I believe in this one. As the Steelers, the Ravens, and even the Browns, they're making moves big and small to improve their squads or keep them in competitive form, right? The Steelers, they traded for DK Metcalf. They traded for DK Metcalf to pair him up with George Pickens, and George Pickens hasn't said anything, destructive or selfish.
Yep.
Yeah, selfish yet.
No.
And, they're still looking at the quarterback position. Whether they get Aaron Rodgers, he's, potentially going to visit, or he's on a beach somewhere right now. Ravens, they haven't lost too much. They got rid of Marcus Williams, who really didn't do shit for them last year, and brought in the most Ravens receiver of all time in DeAndre Hopkins at 30-something years old. And the Browns, they get to sit Deshaun Watson for a year, so you already have hope. He's injured. You got hope there. They got to keep Myles Garrett. Maybe they add Abdul Carter to him.
You got Kenny Pickett.
And I'm Kenny. Joins them. The Cincinnati Bengals, though, Scott, they find themselves in a compromising position. Several compromising positions, really. They have
themselves?
They find themselves there. Yes, they
put themselves in?
No, they find themselves. They're not binding themselves. That's for the after show. That's for the late night show. They still need to extend Jamar Chase. They already committed publicly to saying that he was going to be the highest paid non-quarterback. Myles Garrett came in, got a $40 million a year deal. Waited a little too long on that. They got to figure out the T. Higgins situation while he's on the franchise tag. They already granted their star defensive end Trey Hendrickson, permission to seek a trade. And apparently there are a lot of teams interested, but according to Diana Rossini, while those teams are interested, they have said they think it's, quote, ridiculous what the Bengals are asking for him, even though they said they will happily give him the money that he's looking for. And they still have to bolster their aging defense and a shaky O-line that seems like it's been shaky since Burrow got there. So, Scott.
And their other DN retired.
Yes. Sam Hubbard. Yeah, he retired. Yeah.
Mhm.
So when I say that the Cincinnati Bengals are going to be the worst team in the AFC North in 2025, is that debatable to you?
No. No, you hit the nail on the head through that whole opening monologue. They have problems up and down the roster. Like you said, they came out stating that they were going to make Jamar Chase the highest non-quarterback player in NFL history, and Myles Garrett blew that up. So now what are you going to do? You're going to welch on what you said and say, we can't afford 40. This 40 a year. We're going to have to take a step back, make you the highest paid wide receiver, and completely reset the market no matter what. And then, you got the T. Higgins situation, which T. Higgins has already came out stating numerous times that he would be willing to sign a cheaper deal to stay with this core group. Because if you're playing for one of the – Joe Burrow's arguably top 3, top 5 quarterback in the league, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah, I would say.
Yeah,
I
feel comfortable putting him in top 5.
For the case for a point, I'll give him top 5, yeah.
Yeah, so, if you're T. Higgins, there's only 4 other quarterbacks better than who you are right now. So you might as well just stay.
One of them.
And the Trey Hendrickson saga, you already came out saying that you'd pay him. Don't pull a Jerry Jones, just fucking pay him, because what do we know is going to happen 6 months from now? It's going to be more expensive. Just write the fucking check now and get over with. You already know these other teams aren't going to trade your astronomical price tag on them. So just sign them and get it over with. I don't know. That's just me.
I don't think it's just you. I mean, this is the one statement that I fully believe in that I wrote.
I have the Browns at the bottom of the barrel, but it's only by a game. So the Bengals are going to be right there with them.
It fully depends to me on what the Browns do from here at quarterback. As we're recording, you still have a couple options out there. I know Russell Wilson is supposed to visit with them. Kirk Cousins is still an option if they want to trade for him. I think either of them would be serviceable enough on a
You don't believe in Bailey Zappi?
On a talented team. I couldn't give a single shit of belief to Bailey Zappi. I didn't believe in him that rookie year when everybody tried to make him the savior. I'm not doing it with the black Bailey Zappi and
finest,
Joe Milton.
Man. You don't believe in him?
Joe Milton's just a black version of Bailey Zappi. Don't fall for it, people.
Ooh.
I promise.
Oh, it's March. You can say that. It's okay.
I can. Yes. Yes, we're fine.
Well, it's who else is out there right now? Because I know as far as big names go, A-Rod's not going to go there. Russ isn't going to go there. Winston was just there. They're not bringing him back. Flacco has already done his veteran tour there. So you don't see Flacco at this point going there. So who else is out there that could even potentially be a starter for you next year?
Drew Lock.
Shedeur Sanders. Maybe. Could even be a wait and see kind of thing with Cam Ward if Tennessee does go the Abdul Carter route.
It's going to be a Carson Wentz retread.
Oh, God. He's looking for a starting job.
Fuck it. Get Taylor Heineke in there. Why not?
I mean, he's not even a backup in KC anymore because Minshew's over there, so.
That would have been a spot I could have seen Minshew trying to go to in that mercenary role of his, but I guess.
Well, it's with the quarterback that they're gonna be stuck with. Well, not stuck with, but they're kind of in a tough spot because you're not gonna be able to get an aging veteran who wants to win now. So that's completely out of the realm of possibility. So you're gonna have to find a guy who's still relatively on the younger side who has shown those flashes of being a true number one. Just so you can try to get some more, game tape on there. I mean, isn't Desmond Ritter still out there?
Yeah.
He was supposed to be the next Matt Ryan after Matt Ryan left Atlanta, and then we saw how he just completely crashed and burned in Atlanta, and then he went to Vegas and he didn't do anything in Vegas. So maybe bring Desmond Ritter. I mean, I believe isn't he from somewhere around Cleveland, right?
I believe so, and it shouldn't be too
maybe
much.
Maybe they could trade for Anthony Richardson.
No, he's from Louisville, but he went to Cincinnati, so
close enough. It's all Ohio.
Shouldn't be.
It's all the same. It's all the same cesspool, whatever.
Shouldn't be too costly to try and trade for a Hendon Hooker or what's his name in
I don't think the Lions are out on Hendon Hooker yet, though.
I don't think so. Well, yeah, I don't even. Yeah, and
I guess it all depends what the price tag is.
It couldn't be too much, but I mean, there's options. I'm surprised they didn't try to go back to Jameis, but I also have a low key theory that Jimmy Johnson retired from Fox and
Jeremy
will not be
Jameson.
part of Fox NFL Sunday. And everybody was like, oh, Gronk, is the natural fill-in. Don't put Gronk on that thing full time.
Ooh,
I watched him
Scott,
nearly
can
have
I
a
add to
stroke
your
trying to talk
question?
about Gerard Mayo.
Add to my question. You can add whatever you want to me, man.
Who loses their job first, Zach Taylor or Stefanski?
Ooh, Stefanski. Taylor's still riding high on his Super Bowl appearance, so he still has that feather in his cap.
I don't know if he's right. I think if they had the same season as last year, though, I don't. If it was an identical year,
To me, it's like which team is losing first? At that
Right.
point, like who's doing the worst is going to be gone first. And I have a little bit more, just simply because Burrow's under center in Cincinnati, and they actually have weapons surrounding them. Like the Browns roster is just gross, absolutely gross. So like
if
I
you
have
put the
no
Browns
faith.
defense with the Bengals offense, you could actually have a.
Oh
just
God.
form a super Ohio.
Can you
team.
trade whole position groups? Can you just swap the sides of the field?
We've opted to become the Ohio Brown Goals.
Well, it's like I think all their running backs are hurt right now too, right? The Browns. I think everyone's hurt.
Yeah, I mean Chubb is still. I think Chubb's a free agent. I think.
Yeah, he's still out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still out there. Yeah, so, and I think that's why the running back market has kind of looked the way that it has so far in free agency, just because of this draft that's coming up and how many options that you have there. So, I don't know. It's gonna be something to watch in Ohio there. But I'm calling the Bengals. I'm sticking with my statement. It's not just showbiz, baby.
Do you think the Bengals will be at the bottom?
Yes.
I think Bengals will be third.
It's going to be an Ohio team that's third or fourth, which is why now it's going to be the Steelers.
Ohio team is going to be the worst AFC North team this year.
That is a good take. That's a safe take. I think that's
That's
the
a
take of the
50%
night.
chance, so we're taking it.
Yes. This is how we curse
All right,
the
Reid.
Steelers.
Watch the Browns win.
I'm going to give you a debatable.
Ooh, I want to play.
The NFC East has the longest streak of no back-to-back division winner since 2004. Do the Eagles break that this year?
Yeah. I say that they do break it this year. As much as I'd like to say Washington, keeps the streak alive. I know the Giants are sure as hell not going to do it, and I do not believe Dallas is going to do it. I don't believe in Brian Schottenheimer whatsoever. Washington, I still think will be number 2 and will finish second in the division, but Philly's an overwhelming amount of talent there, and barring some type of like massive injuries. I don't know who is their backup quarterback now. Is it Dorian Thompson-Robinson after the trade with the Browns? If Hurts goes down, maybe DTR fits well in that system enough, and he fits a similar skill set of Hurts. If Barkley goes down,
AJ Dillon now?
they just signed the other quadzilla of the NFL and AJ Dillon. I still think
They said those two are first team quad pro.
Right. I think that you still have a competitive enough team, and Washington's going to be facing a much tougher schedule this year. And I'll get into it on my top 5 on some of my feelings about Washington right now, but I want to. Jaden Daniels is special. He is definitely something different, but I am very curious to see how he goes up against the sophomore slump in the wall that most second-year quarterbacks typically hit. I mean, just look
You
at
saw it this year with CJ.
the superstar rookie year that CJ Stroud had. People were comparing him to like LeBron James or Michael Jordan of the NFL that rookie year, and it went downhill this year once people figure you out. And I think he'll rebound. But I'm curious to see if it's going to happen to Jaden too. I just think Philly's too good to not win this again.
Yeah, they got a dynasty coming up for sure.
Yeah. Odds are in their favor. Good segment.
No, because you guys have no faith in your own team. So give me the Commanders to keep the streak going.
He's
But
doing
they were
it
right
again.
last year.
He's-
book it now, dude.